Hi, Professor. Our group topic is the impact of religious tourism on society. Our group member is Lu Taoyu, Xu Nan, and Tang Zihan. My name is Xu Nan. I'm going to talk about economic impact of religious tourism. For the outline, there are introduction, economic impact, cultural impact, China part, and tourism plan and marketing. For the introduction, religion is a social-cultural system of designated behaviors and practices, morals, worldviews, texts, sanctified places, prophecies, ethics, or organizations that relates humanity to supernatural, transcendental, or spiritual elements. Today, tourism plays a positive role in the economy. Its development can increase economic activity in rural areas and create various employment opportunities, most of which are in the economic services sector. At the same time, they have many benefits for the villagers, such as job creation and new opportunities. The development of tourism has led people to shift to productive activities, which has also brought economic growth and poverty reduction, thereby expanding social services and investment growth in these areas. A large number of tourists come to visit shrines around the world, which not only promotes economic growth around the shrine, but also provides employment opportunities for many local residents. For example, Lourdes, a small town in southern France, the city which mainly hosts the St. Lourdes Cathedral, is one of the most important pilgrimage and religious tourism in the world. Lourdes receives about 6 million tourists from every corner of the world every year. Constant pilgrims and tourists make Lourdes the second most important tourist center in France, after Paris and Rome. There is a data to show. In 1987, more than 300 shops, 370 hotels, 28 camping sites, 45 restaurants in the town itself and the surrounding countryside, 8 banks, and 18 big service garages. Besides, the town has 3 times the number of rooms in its population, and the second highest hotel in France after Paris. For a small town, tourism has brought some huge economic benefits and town development. In conclusion, the development of religious tourism will have a huge economic impact on the local community, transform it into economic growth around the shrine, and provide a lot of employment opportunities for local residents, social, cultural, political, and environmental impact.
I'm Zihan. My part about the religious culture impact. A pilgrim is a very important part about the religious culture. Initially, pilgrims were mainly aimed at the worshippers with religious beliefs. With the development of tourism and the rise of religious tourism, more and more ordinary tourists will choose to visit pilgrims pilgrimage sites or hold large pilgrimages. According to the Tourism Ministry, with about 4.55 million tourists visiting the Jewish state in 2019. Follow the tour group to observe the tour. This makes more ordinary people begin to understand the religious culture and feel the religious culture in their own experience. But they also have some negative factors. First, local residents are unhappy with tourists. Think of the tourism as the third to traditions, including religious practice, and the tourists' religious beliefs have different effects on people of different religious background, and the level of the tour guides is uneven, which does not guarantee that tourists get the most correct information about the religious culture. And about the heritage, with the continuous development of religious tourism, religious buildings and monuments are also continuously protected and restored, thereby retaining the most precious religious and cultural mix. The many religious cultural heritage, especially monasteries and temples, have become tourist attractions. Religious culture heritage tourism provides the most direct and effective way for people to understand the value of religious culture heritage, thereby effectively enhancing the people's protecting consciousnesses and properly protecting religious culture heritage. Similarly, the development of religious tourism may also have a currently negative impact on cultural heritage sites. Improper development measures or good tourism planning is not carried out or planning is not well implemented. The alienations of communicated culture in religious tourism, environmental pollutions, destruction of cultural relays. So the development of religious tourism will inevitably produce many problems and bring some negative factors. Nevertheless, it is undeniable this religious tourism has also made outstanding contributions to the spread and development of religion culture. In the end, I think the biggest impact of religious tourism on culture is to spread religious and local culture in a positive and sustainable way. Let everyone have the opportunity to go deeper into religion, experience pilgrimage, visit religious sites, and learn about religion most directly. And my partner will talk about the next part. Thanks.
Hello, Professor. My name is Chaoyu Lu, and my part for our presentation is religious tourism in China. Let's have a look at the environment of tourism in China first. The China Tourism Industry Developer report in 2019 indicates that the total revenue for tourism in 2019 is 6.63 trillion yuan. It's around 1.33 trillion Canadian dollars, and it seems that it's a really big contribution for Chinese economic development. The tourism accounts for around 11% of GDP in 2019. China's tourism comprehensive contribution ranks second in the world, and nowadays China has become one of the important key sources for world tourists. As for the religious tourism in China, sightseeing at religious sites is a very fast-growing activity in China's domestic tourism industry. As for the reason why we choose China as a model for analysis, firstly, we are all come from China, and China is a socialist country. The relationship between the state system and the religious development is worth analyze. Secondly, in a developing country, The income of tourism industry plays an important role of China's rapidly developing economic. And in addition, China once faced a cultural cleansing. It is a unique history, different from other countries, and religious tourism has gradually been recognized by government and the people in China. From the government perspective, the religion has become an important part of the government policy to an extent. The Chinese government participates in the rules of religion tourism by providing infrastructure directly or control the private sector, educate people through the religion. Religion is an invisible country, has culture plays an important part in managing the stability of the socialist country. As for the economic perspective, development of religious tourism has led to the economic development in many places with religious characteristics. For example, considering that many Buddhists live in the rural areas, promoting religious tourism is a part of the policy to reduce the income disparities between the urban and rural areas. As for the cultural cleansing is a period of history happened in China from 1966 to 1976. It is really a dark period that the overall economic in China was severely affected, and a large number of cultural relics and historic sites were broken. The impact of this dark history is that this period represents a hiatus in China cultural tradition, wherein a present generation of Chinese no longer have traditional ties to past religious beliefs. It makes religions today in China not only for pilgrims, but also including heritage tourism, opportunity for socialization and friendship, as well as the most important side in thought in Chinese, that's the family bonding. Then here are some marketing strategies for the religious tourism. If we want to make the good marketing strategy, we need to catch the real needs of the tourists. There are 3 segments of the religious tourists. The first segment is that the tourists have social motivation to have good time with their friends and families, and meeting their needs of curiosity. For this segment, the feature of the religious resort can be caught. The promotion can focus on the mix of religions and sightseeing. Let these people identify the religious place not only can meet their curiosity, but also is a good place for them to relax and have good time with their family and friends. The second segment is that tourists need the combination of experiencing the ambience of the expression of religious beliefs and seeking escape from the daily world. The third one is that tourists want to achieve senses of redemption. For these 2 segments, the promotion can focus on the history, stories, and reputation of the religious places. In addition, God's important day can be a big point. For example, God's birthday will become an opportunity for followers. Some major gatherings have a strong religious color and will also be a factor for the curiosity of the tourists of the first segment. Then, this is the tourist plan we made for this kind of religious tourism. Our destination is Mount Putuo in China, Zhejiang. So if you want to know more details, you can go to the paper we submit. There are enough details for you, and if you have a curiosity, you can go there. And maybe I can be your guide because I come from there. Thank you for listening.